I'm WTOP's Mike Murillo outside of D.C. Superior Court, where today we have the jury with the case of Jason Lewis. He's the man charged with second-degree murder for the killing of 13-year-old Karon Blake back on January the 7th of 2023. Now, we had closing arguments today, and in them you had two different cases. You had the prosecution saying that Lewis acted not in self-defense. Instead, he wanted to show some people who were burglarizing cars a lesson and used his gun in that process. Then you have the defense team who says Lewis, who spent his life at DC Parks and Rec working on youth programs, and a person they say who worked to stop beefs between people, a peaceful person who went out to protect his family, and then when he was confronted by gunfire and someone pointing a gun at him, he says that's when he fired. So the story here from the defense team is that Lewis saw someone pointing a gun at him from his car. I mean, Lewis testified to this yesterday. He said that he saw someone pointing a gun, and then someone say, "Do it," and then he heard and saw a shot, and that's when he returned fire. And then he said he saw someone charging at him, and then at that point, he started firing again 2 more times, and that's when he shot and killed Karon Blake. Now, in video that was shown in court several times, you could hear Blake, his last words were, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, no, I'm just a kid." And in this case, the prosecution says Lewis looked out his window and they believe saw someone burglarizing his car. And so he grabbed his gun to, in their words, quote, go teach them a lesson, and went down his stairs slowly. They pointed that out, trying to show that he wasn't in a hurry and imminent danger at that time. Went out a back door again, went through his walled patio to another gate, and that's seconds after that the video shows him firing. Now, he claims that there was a shot before that wasn't captured on video, but the defense team tried to tell the jury that just because it wasn't captured on cameras that are motion detection cameras, that doesn't mean the shot didn't happen. So the jury here has to decide on whether they think Lewis acted in self-defense. Again, his team says that they believe he did, and they believe that he just thought he was in danger at that moment, and he's devastated by what happened and feels terrible and is still in shock. And that shock came up a lot, that feeling of shock, because prosecutors pointed out that it wasn't until in court yesterday, recently I should say, that Lewis said that he saw someone pointing a gun at him or he heard or saw a shot. He did not tell police that initially in the investigation. So a lot of things for the jury to figure out here. One thing is there's an assault with a deadly weapons charge. If they decide to say yes on that, that means the self-defense strategy goes out the window for the defense. So we'll have to see how things turn out when the jury returns. They'll have a lot of video to look over, including some autopsy photos, which were shown during the case today, where prosecutors tried to show that since Blake was shot from the side, that he was not running toward Lewis, he was running away from Lewis. And they say the kids who they were all believed to be kids who were burglarizing cars were trying to get away after Lewis fired first. But again, Lewis says he didn't fire first. He only was responding to someone shooting at him. We'll continue to follow this case and tell you what the jury comes up with. At D.C. Superior Court, Mike Murillo, WTOP News.